Norse Gods Championship 2022. This is round 2, back 9. We're at DF Buchmiller Park in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. This tournament is sponsored by Central PA Disc Golf and supported by our Patreon family. You can become a Patreon at patreon.com/HyzerMedia. I am Dave Oster, here again with Kevin Gleason.
How's it going, everybody? Kevin Gleason here, Team Captain Latitude 64. Thank you again for inviting me to do commentary, and we are starting off on hole 10 of the back 9, and it's 221 feet. It's uphill, tight left to right with some trees, probably throwing putters in mid-range. I wouldn't think anybody here is throwing anything more than that.
Yeah, 221 feet, but it is uphill pretty much the whole way. So how far did you say it plays?
It probably plays close to 280 because the first round I threw a havoc in the big tree behind it. I was right in front of that big tree, and I threw that havoc about as good as I could. This is a 13 speed.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That was a great shot by Mike. Gets the distance perfect, but it kind of deceiving on camera. This is a bit more uphill than it looks. So short hole distance-wise, but these players, even with the putter mid-range, kind of got to pump it to get it up there.
Yeah, I think I went fairway, easy fairway, and Ben about throws it in. So that's about the 5th or 6th ace run so far during this lead card action. And Dylan here has his Berg in his hand. Again, like I stated earlier, Bergs just goes straight. He pushed it a little left, and that put him in some thick stuff.
Yeah, until you hit a tree, they go straight, that is.
Correct. Lucas with a nice little smooth sidearm with his harp up to the basket. He knows that it's, too far out to be running at it. He's shooting well. He doesn't need to mess up. He just lays it up.
Playing smart. Certainly not an attribute that young players typically have, but seeing some special things out of him.
And here's Ben, probably a step or two inside the circle and kept it a little bit low. And it just shows, like, if you watch the front 9 coverage, Ben has missed probably 4 putts. And that's what these pitch and putt deuce or die courses, if you're missing your 25, 30 footers, it really shows on your score.
Yeah, and even with that, he is still only 2 back and just right within second and third place guys. So
yeah, they're all in there. They're all still really close at 10, 11, and 12.
Absolutely. And we'll move over to hole 11, par 3, 292 feet. Thank you to Corbella Designs for sponsoring this hole. Probably a forehand or backhand turnover. Got to get up to the green where we see these low-hanging branches and a lot of roots on the ground. So either getting it short of the roots or playing kind of a random play with where the roots are going to kick your disc, or backdoor route where Mike is going.
Yeah, Mike threw his eagle there, and he was telling me round 1 that he actually aced that warm-up the other day with a little skip off a root.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it certainly could happen. Keeping it low, and the basket's set almost ground level. I could certainly see a skip going in a lot more than other holes.
Yeah, Lucas there with a nice little touch sidearm again with his harp. He's got that harp dialed in. And Ben looking for the turnover. Now, he went straight, but I think he's still going to have a putt. And it didn't end up bad at all.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It looks like the ground, it kind of filters down towards the basket all the way around once you get there, on the left side anyway.
Not much skip with that disc. Oh, I bet that was probably Dylan's zone that he threw there. Mike at about 22, 23 feet. Great little putt.
And if he's the furthest one out, we're looking for a pretty good score from this card. Ben's got maybe a little annoying branch in front of him.
But Ben came around nicely the way. It looked like he was pushing way left. And like you said, it kind of just hits that hill and filters down towards the basket with the backhand turnover. And Lucas here with a nice easy 7-footer, and Dylan dropping in his marvel putter and trying not to hit his head on the basket.
That's right.
When he picks it up.
Another star frame.
Yep, so let's see. Going into hole 12. Par 3, 226 feet. I'm going to say most of your players are going to throw like just a backhand hyzer. It can get away from you and head deep in the woods. Mike's probably flat-footing an AVR, pushing it out and letting it fall left. If you put too much on it, it can get outside of the circle easily. Looks like Mike left it a little bit short. And here's Lucas again with his heart, flat-footing it and throwing it over the hill.
It's in.
It's safe.
We hit James.
We have your catch cam with our hands up saying
There it
it's in.
is.
Here
Here's
we go.
the ace. Take a look at it from catch cam, Wendy's perspective.
Wait, it's like, are we good?
Oh,
Boom.
beautiful. Low right side, stays right in the bucket.
And he's throwing that heart so well.
Yeah, that was great throw, and I gotta say that was our first ace that HyzerMedia's caught on camera. So shout out to Lucas for giving us that. We'll definitely be clipping that out and sharing that all over the place. Great shot.
And here's Dylan throwing his Bard. Looks like he got it left, though. He didn't fully commit to that throw. I think he was looking either to roll it over a little bit or put it out a more right. And there's Lucas showing off his heart. Team West Side Disc, 16 years old. Kid is good.
Certainly is. And showing it here. Obviously, that brings him 3 strokes above the lead for the moment. Mike still has his putt to go, but like you said, certainly playing very well so far.
That was a good bid by Mike. I think he was outside the circle, had a bunch of high grass down the slope of a hill. And here's Ben, about 18 feet away. Dead center, great putt.
There you go, finally gets it. That's about the same distance he's been all day. A little bit inside maybe, but able to get it the right, left and right.
Dylan clean up his par. It looks like he just pitched out from the woods over there. It didn't look like he had too much. This course is very thick if you get off the fairway. And you have to scramble a little bit just to save par on some of them.
Yeah, and he actually took quite a bit of time just to get into his lie where he was behind a bunch of thick stuff. So didn't really have much to get out there. Mike taps into par. And we will move on to hole 13, par 3, 205 feet straight up the hill. Thank you to Decades for sponsoring this hole and hosting the players' meeting beforehand on Friday.
Here's Lucas throwing his harp that just went in the previous basket. And that's not too bad of a shot, probably like 22, 25 feet away. The big silver pole in front of you is a Mando. And my round during this round, I decided to hit it. Starting to get a little humid out here on us for the first time, all year. It's been cold, but it's a little warm right now.
Yep, definitely gotta be concerned about the grip. Might go to little right side. Oh, and skips off and slides back in, and he'll have a putt for birdie after almost being out of bounds right next to the basket.
Once Dylan got another berg. And it looks like he committed to that shot. That looks like it'll be right under the basket. A little 15-footer. Okay, Ben's starting to feel it now. He's got his rhythm down.
There
2 in
you
a
go.
row. Lucas about the same, about 20, 22 feet out, right on the tree line.
Oh.
And again, with that straddle putt, changing that shoulder up to push one way or another. It looks like all it was he's not been throwing many straddle putts, and I'm sure that's what it was. I know it gets me when I have to change over to a straddle.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Get so many reps in, go in your normal putting stance, and you got to change something up. Definitely throws timing off, the position of your body, like you were saying.
So that was Mike for a birdie. I guess he was pretty close to the road. I saw him stepping off his meter to get relief from the road.
Yeah, fortunate just to get the right amount of spin that his disc slid back inbounds. So
Yeah.
good birdie by him. And we'll move over to hole 14, par 3, 259 feet downhill. Got to find the gap and then slow your disc down. in the main basket short for this round that we're looking at. And the difficulty is basically to not go too far. Of course, also hitting the gap.
Yeah, you can throw just about anything on this hole, but like the first round, you just don't want to push it too far. That looks great, and it ended up great. You don't want to go too far right into the thick stuff. You just want to get a good turn. Even if you hit one of the early trees, if you roll down a little bit, you can still get a putt on this hole. Mike's flat footing what looks to be an AVR. And he caught the first tree, and he's probably going to be about 40 feet out. Dylan going Berg again. And he did what I was saying, when you push it far right, it gets real thick.
Yeah, and if you're just coming in a little too hot, it goes past the basket really quick because of the downhill. It just has nothing to slow your disc down.
Looks like Lucas's harp got caught up a little bit. Mike laying up. He doesn't want nothing to do with that.
Yep.
Run at that and go into the thick stuff behind. I'm going to say Lucas will probably go for it. He seems to go for almost everything. And he did.
Yeah, pays off. So we see the contrast between the experienced player and the obviously newer player. Different results, but the aggressive play paid off this time. It certainly could have, bit him and gone into the woods, missed the putt coming back, and wound up being a bogey, but he was able to get it this time.
Yeah, he's such a good player that 40-footer downhill, he's confident enough in it, and as he should be. That was 14. Let's see. Going over to hole 15, sponsored by Hyzer Flip Disc Golf. You can really throw anything overstable in this pad. You want to aim straight ahead to the trees, putting it a little bit high on the right side and just letting it fall left. If you clip the trees at the end, you should still have a putt. Ben going the left side, putting him about 10 feet away. And who would have guessed? Lucas, with his heart, walked up and flicked it very fast. And he's right there.
He must be comfortable with that throw, practiced a lot.
And Mike caught that limb. And that's the line I'm looking at when I'm throwing. I'm aiming right at those tree limbs and trying to crash in.
Yeah, just took it just a little bit too wide. But this hole, it says 162 feet. Obviously plays further than that uphill. But, if he threw it even 100, 120 feet, he'll still have a bid at it being such a short hole.
Yeah. Sounded like there's a little laughter. Here goes Mike. 2 pump, 3 pump, in. Oh, just outside.
Had looked like it was going in the whole way. Another one just right side.
Yeah, Dylan's just a little bit off on those 20, 25 footers. They all seem to be hitting right, just popping out on him. Ben, on the other hand, has came around the last few holes. He's only 1 stroke off of Luke right now. Luke will have this for a 2-stroke lead. Taking a little bit extra time. Dead center.
Sneaks it over the rim. They say there's no pictures on the scorecard, but it's a little bit different when you're on a lead card and being filmed. So a couple of birdies, a couple of pars, moving over to hole 16, par 3, 238 feet. Up maybe the steepest hill that we have to walk up on the course, but basket is right there in front of you. You can see the top of it from the tee pad. Don't go too long, don't go too far right, catching some trees, and you should have a look at it for your birdie.
And this hole says 238 feet. I say it plays over 300 feet, because if you see that right there, that came in, 25 feet short. I know when our card threw it, I threw my Gold Line Ballista Pro and threw it hard only because from the first round, I saw where my other disc ended up. And you have to push it quite a bit to get it up there. The good shots sometimes end up short.
Yeah, and no surprise, we're talking about how much further this hole actually plays, and Lucas throws it far.
Yeah, that's Lucas. There's Mike with a Roadrunner. So
Yep,
I
that's
think
perfect.
Roadrunner's what, speed 12 or so?
Yeah, definitely using the higher speeds to get up there. Just a little low, catching a cage. Lucas went long, but still all but a tap in for him.
Got 3 strokes on the card right now on Ben. Mike coming up for his 2-putt.
And we can kind of see the story developing with only a few holes left on this round. Lucas playing extremely well on this short, more of a technical style course before moving over to Shiprock, which distance is definitely a plus on a lot of the holes, which we've been talking about for 2 days that he has. So setting up well for him moving forward.
Yeah, correct. Shiprock is definitely a longer of the 2 courses, but there is a lot of out of bounds out there, so it still takes a technical touch shot. Here we go into hole 17. It says 344. I think it's probably around 300-foot shot into there. It plays about 300. You can either crash a hyzer at it or run something straight at it to get in there.
Yeah, I'll be honest, that first 4 may have been a slip of the fingers as I was typing those graphics up.
Yeah, so probably 304 feet is probably what it is. Mike's going with that hyzer shot with the rock, which as long as you don't hit those limbs right there, it'll crash right to the basket, which it looks like exactly what it did.
Oh, yeah.
Dylan throwing his envy, going the same line as Mike, giving a little ace run.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of roots right there. So the skip away is kind of hard, because if you come in with that hyzer, there's so many roots. They'll hopefully stop you. Got Ben going with the little turnover shot. Looks to maybe have came in a little bit short. He'll have like a downhill putt, maybe right inside circle's edge. Lucas a little pinched off, going straddle, either under or below a limb. But no problem.
Yep. Under one limb to the left of a tree into the basket.
Mike here, probably 25 out. 3 pump, dead center.
Here you go.
Mike's putting really well right now, this back 9.
And so quick. It looks like he kind of just steps up, like you keep saying, has his routine, just doesn't think about it, and it just goes in. It's working well, and certainly the years of experience are showing for Mike.
Yeah, Mike's got either that 2 pump or 3 pump. He'll do the 2 pump when he's in close. But that 3 pump is usually when he's about that distance or farther. Delaware Deucer. When he gets going, it's hard to stop him.
That's right. Smooth move by Dylan there as we move on to the last hole for this round. Par 3 today. 428 feet, playing to the main basket to the right. Similar shape shot from yesterday. Got to get up and over the trees, but pushing a little bit straighter than wanting to hyzer out at the end, getting up under the branches of the big pine trees.
And most of them will probably throw something with a little bit of flip to it. This basket's tucked off to the right. I'm sure that was a mid-range, maybe a verdict.
And that was absolutely parked.
Mike's going turn, so he's probably going to try to hit right at the top of those trees right there and turn right, and then fall left, which will give him a pretty decent putt. This hole plays every bit of 428 feet.
That's what I told you.
As long as you get it over the top of the trees, you'll get a putt at it most of the time because
yeah.
it is a little bit downhill.
Great shot. And you just have to make sure it does finish the end because that road long is out of bounds. The basket's probably only 35 or 40 feet from the road, so.
And Dylan
Going right at her catch cam.
put
And,
a lot on that one. That's not
yeah.
too far away, though.
No, that was good. She was in a good spot. Dylan picked it, and so did she, so.
That might have been one of Dylan's race. That looks like a good shot, too, by Ben. Did it come back around? Out of
bounds, yep.
Yeah.
There's a slope on the far side of the green there, so I'm not sure if it hit out of bounds there or caught and rolled.
A little low on that putt for Dylan. He just needed to get it up. And here's Ben putting for par. Sit down. Okay. That stinks to end his round with a bogey like that, but
Yeah, that was a tough putt with his up and down putt with those low ceiling.
there's Mike finishing with a strong round. Probably keeping him on the lead card for third round over at Shiprock. Bogey for Ben's going to take him down to about 15.
Yeah, still not a bad round. A little struggle putting early, corrected it. Kept it up there. He's right with these guys, so.
And Lucas with a 20 down overall, so he shot what, 12 or 13 or so that round?
Yeah, I think hot round, and this shot certainly helped his cause. The only ace on the day, first ace we've ever filmed.
Well, congrats on that.
Absolutely. Take a look at the scores.
And you can see me way down at the bottom.
You made the top 10.
I made the top 10. So, Jake Ritchie, I played with Jake the first round. He shot really, really well. Had one mistake on one hole. He'll be tied for second, and we'll get to see him on coverage of the next round. So, again, thank you for inviting me to do commentary. Kevin Gleason, again, team captain with Latitude 64.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining me. Thank you to Corbella Designs, the Tono Group, again, for supporting this coverage and this tournament. And thank you to all of you for watching. We are going to head over to Shiprock tomorrow with the third round of the Norse Gods 2022 Championship. We hope to see you over there. We'll see you next hole.